Hello, guys. Welcome to the Scrappy Podcast, episode 44. Second episode with Nathan Kamahele. Super excited for him to come out to the farm and see how we stay living up here. But yeah, it's a great time. He educated me on some stuff, the Hawaiian flag, the Hawaiian Kingdom, and some other stuff. And I wanted to deep dive because the last time we just didn't talk like 10 minutes. But I actually wanted to have like a real long conversation, my hour-long conversation kind of podcast. So here it is. Welcome back.
It's good to
Nathan.
be back. Thank you for inviting me out here.
Yeah.
Check it out.
How was the Kalosu? Not bad.
What was mean?
I like the
What was mean?
so Hawaii Ulu Corp. Shout out to Hawaii Ulu Corp. They're from Big Island, and they sell like we bought 25 pounds of kalo and it's
Steamed already.
big chunks. Yeah. So recipe ready, and so we've just been subbing that for rice. Eat less rice, more nutritious.
Is it Hawaii Ulu?
Hawaii
Corp or
Hawaii
co-op?
Ulu, yeah. Well, co-op, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, co-op.
Got you.
Yeah, Hawaii Ulu Co-op on the Big Island, but came out to like $7.10 a pound because it was $177.50.
It's gold.
Yeah, it's not bad, for and then I mean you pay right for until we get our kalo growing again, but more nutritious, eat well. That's I think the first thing you can start doing, to change your life is eating better, because affects
Sure.
the mind,
Yep.
your body and soul.
Yep.
But yeah, welcome back to the podcast. Thank
Right.
you for coming out.
Yep.
Appreciate you. But yeah, the Hawaiian flag.
Yeah. Well, like most of us, I think a lot of us are passionate about this.
Yeah.
Not knowing too much background except for what we were told at school, but it's something that we have deep down inside of us. Whether we're living in the States or beyond, or even in Hawaii, this flag is deep down in you. Yeah. And what if I told you that flag is not really your flag? We're still diving deep into the research and even finding out the truth as we go. It still hurts me because I thought the state of Hawaii flag was us. But there's not much there's not a lot of information out there on this. You kind of got to read between the lines on a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you go research on Google, Hawaiian Kingdom flag or state of Hawaii flag, just look up
Yeah.
Hawaii flag. First flag that it'll show you is the British flag. Because if you think about it, back then, flags weren't a Hawaiian culture kind of thing. It was kahili, right?
Right.
And you'd have a bunch of kahili, you'd have a bunch of different colors, different feathers, and depending on what color it was, told everyone else who you were a part of, right?
Right.
So who you were with. So flags was a concept that it wasn't ours originally, right?
Yeah.
So
We
while
adapted it.
while our kings and queens knew that not just being independent, but having the rest of the world acknowledge that we were independent was important. So the flag was part of it. And if you look on the Google or when you research it, it'll show you the British flag. But of course, it'll just show you a picture of it, right? And then after that, it'll show you the progress of what the Hawaii flags turned into. And eventually, when you look at the dates below it, it'll show you from what date to what date this flag was in operation.
Right.
And from the British flag, it'll turn into the 9-strip flag that we have here. But the Hawaiian Kingdom flag has always been 3:6 or 2:1 ratio, always. Same as Great Britain then. We're not taught this because the U.S. standard is the 3:5, right? So we think flags is only 3:5, but no, that's untrue. The other half of the world has different size flags,
Mm-hmm.
different size flag standards as well.
Right.
So knowing that the British flag was a 3:6 and the U.S. Standard is a 3:5, as we continue to progress, um, we're talking about the first overthrow by one of the rogue agents.
Yep.
From Great Britain. The Queen came down. Um, she was righteous. She made sure that, hey, my guy don't belong in here. Get him out of here.
Right.
Restart our independence, and that was a big deal. I think that was huge because it shows that Hawaii was vulnerable. It was overthrown for a few months, but in humanity, she was found to be righteous. She could have took Hawaii back then, but with the relationship that our kings and queens made with her, she was pono and she restored our independence.
Mm-hmm.
So it was taken, and it can be given back, right? So, and that's for the occupiers that are here right now. So after we were illegally overthrown the first time, King Kamahele III was the one that was reigning at the time. This is when he proclaimed the words "Ua mau ke ea o ka aina I ka pono" on the footsteps of Kaiahao Church. And a lot of the differences too is, remember, what we've been taught is from the state of Hawaii and the state of Hawaii educational system. So, and all of that is illegitimate. So knowing that and what they've been teaching us, even though the same words "Ua mau ke ea o ka aina I ka pono" can be translated differently, the state translates it as the life of the land perpetuates in righteousness. And I stand back and I think about it, and it's a passive statement.
Mm.
The life of the land perpetuates in righteousness. You don't need to do nothing. I don't need to do nothing. The life can perpetuate in righteousness, which could be true, but not with some other humans that are against the world and the earth being happy.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
which are currently in place right now.
Right.
So the life of the land is not being perpetuated in righteousness.
Which means we need to activate. Yeah.
Right.
And if you go to Thomas Square, and Admiral Thomas was a big part of this because he was a part of helping to restore the Hawaiian Kingdom the first time. So he has a square named after him in town on Oahu, and if you look at his park, and you'll see a tall statue of King Kamahele III, and then you'll see like a maybe 50-60 foot flagpole. Every year we have Loa'a there,
right,
which is the celebration of
it's
Hawaiian
coming up, huh?
independence.
No, that's it. That passed.
I always get Loa'a and Laho'iho'i
Yeah.
mixed
Yeah,
up
me
because
too.
they're
What's the one coming up in November?
both the same vibe.
Yeah. We'll get the
I think that's
dates right.
Loa'a. It's coming up.
Loa'a, yeah.
But you'll see the flagpole, and then you'll see this big, it's not even like a plaque, it's like this big sign with rock wall around it, and it's going to have a huge plaque going across. And it'll say the same words, "Ua mau ke ea o ka aina I ka pono." And you would believe, hey, the life of the land perpetuates in righteousness, excuse me. But if you look below it, it would have a different meaning under it. And the meaning says, the sovereignty of our kingdom continues because we are righteous. And this is no longer a passive statement, it's an active statement.
Oh, wow.
Which means back then, I mean, this is the king, right? You got to think about it back then.
Right.
You're the king, you're on the footsteps of Kaiahao Church, and you proclaim this to your people, right? Your land just got taken away and it just got given back. Are you going to be up there saying the life of the land perpetuates in righteousness? Or would you say the sovereignty of our kingdom continues because we are righteous? Right. So, it's so true. Back then they had to stay righteous. It was given back, and we have to continue to stay righteous, and we will get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's intense.
It's intense.
It's cool though. At the same time,
it's a deep dive on how insignificant really is a flag, really, right? And how insignificant is
in the grand scheme of things, right?
Just changing the size of the flag.
And just some words too, misinterpretations of stuff.
I think it was
intentionally for sure.
Right,
yeah, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
To get us disconnected to the aina, disconnected to ohana, disconnected to the community, right? And if you disconnect yourself from ohana and community, your next is going to be disconnected to aina.
Yeah, this is all their tactics, right? Because right now in Gaza, you get Palestinians getting genocide, getting killed, and it's the same thing here in Hawaii. Now they never kill us with bombs and stuff like that, but they took away the food system. First in 1898, when the illegal
Diseases,
the illegal annex happened, right? What is the first thing they do? They take away the language,
the food.
the
We
food.
just talked about the food that
Yeah.
makes you think and act right.
Exactly, right?
Right.
They filled up all the fish ponds
Yep.
with backfill.
They took away all our food sources.
They filled the poi or the kalo ponds or the lo'i with rice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they basically, and you get the word Hawaiian time or the phrase Hawaiian time. I think I don't like I
Yeah.
don't
Or-
ever
or
use that.
even like lazy Hawaiian.
Yeah, I don't ever
Right.
use that, right? Because Hawaiians, they work from either 4 a.m. to like 8, 9, maybe 10, which is the coolest time of the
Yeah.
day. 10 to 2, the hottest time of the day.
You surfing.
Surfing,
Yeah,
relaxing,
Yeah.
and then come back work the nighttime when it's cool. But they got the nickname Lazy Hawaiians or whatever because they wanted them for work the cane fields from 9 to 5,
Sure.
these regular jobs.
Right.
And then, the Hawaiian time and stuff like that. But, yeah, it's all these things. So they took away the language. They took away their food. They started bringing in shipments of spam, canned foods, all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
diseases,
Yep.
all this stuff. It was a genocide.
Education.
Education
took
limited them from,
Healthcare.
healthcare. Hawaiians on the west side, Waianae has the highest concentration of Hawaiians, and they're high in obesity, high in, heart failure, all the things that health-wise,
Mm-hmm.
they're number one
the one
in
with
Hawaii.
blood that you gotta do. What's the one that
Dialysis or
yeah, but it's because you get high blood pressure.
high blood pressure. Yeah,
you
all
get-
that stuff,
The sugar one.
uh,
Diabetes.
Diabetes.
That's another big one.
Number
right?
one in diabetes.
Right.
And it's so hilarious too, like they did that new Nanakuli shopping mall.
Mm-hmm.
What's funny is no more get the what is that? Down to earth kapole. But on the west side, they'll put one dialysis center
Mm-hmm.
right by
L&L.
Wendy's, L&L,
Yep.
Starbucks, Jamba Juice, Pizza Hut. All the foods
Forget you in dialysis.
for getting dialysis.
One stop shop.
One-stop shop, bruh. I am so heated about that. Why you don't put one on Whole Foods or something? I know it's not that simple, but
But Whole Foods has its own downside as well. But
yes,
I understand something more
More like
community friendly.
community friendly or health conscious, right? Because
Yes.
a lot of people, as they're getting older, they either give up because they think it's too late to change their diet or get healthy, right?
Maybe no more access.
No more access. But that access also is blocked by the system too, right? People that decide what happens on this land.
What gets shipped where?
Yeah,
I mean,
all
even
that
the
stuff.
food grown here, we don't get to eat it. It gets shipped out to other places that want to buy it. So
It's all backwards.
our 90% of imports needs to change to single digit numbers, and only because we want to bring it in, not because we have to.
Yeah. And that's the inspiration for starting the podcast. I believe everybody should have a podcast, you know what I mean? Because there's too much noise out there. I think if you start one podcast, that'd be awesome because whenever you get free time, go home, sit down on topic and deep dive it, and
It's a lot of work.
it is a lot of
So I
work.
commend you.
It is a lot of work, but prior to 1900, Hawaiians were one of the most literate
Oh,
nations in the world.
Yes.
And at that time, the advent of New Pepa,
Mhm.
I think we was talking a little bit about
The
this. but
fresh colored
was
newspaper.
that, but
Yes.
then there were over 200, 300 different New Pepa. It's because Hawaiians was writing.
Mhm.
They saw what was happening in their community and whatnot, but everybody was writing. So in the same way now, the way I look at New Pepa that was back then,
Mhm.
that's how I'm looking at podcasting now. You know what I mean? It is the future, or the modern New Pepa is podcasting.
Yeah.
And so I think
That's cool.
the more smart Hawaiians, because everybody there's choke people that have a voice and they just nobody's participating anymore. You gotta participate. You gotta share your mana'o, share your thoughts, bring people over, have lunch, talk story.
See
Share this
different views.
information.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up too much in the U.S. stuff. We can focus on what's happening here, because the conversations is what's gonna start it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that we have conversations, then we check each other, educate each other,
Yep.
and then we continue to grow.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because even that, I never know about the flag. So now, I can continue to deep dive. But now I get a new flag.
Yep.
Yep. And letting
So,
people.
I didn't finish the story. I'm sorry.
No worries.
So, when we were illegally overthrown by the U.S. government, U.S. military, and we illegally and illegitimately became a state, a part of the 50 states of the United States, which is when they stole our 8-stripe 3x6 design, and they turned it into the 8-stripe 3x5 flag that we know of today, and then they named it the State of Hawaii flag. So that flag is and has always been a terrorist flag. There is nothing pono about that. But we were taught to, keep it deep down in us and in our hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, the you said it might be, or a lot of people might look at the flag as insignificant, but it's a big part of nationality. Like
It is.
it's a big part of
internationally. It's a big part
yeah,
of the nation.
internationally it's big,
yes.
and then even in like maritime or
Yeah.
admiralty law,
Yes.
flags, it's recognition.
Yes.
It's a symbol of and so if you don't have the symbol right, there's a lot of things they've confused Hawaiians with. And I think it's meant to be that way, because you confuse people
For long enough.
and they start fighting against each other, There's one thing when Hawaiian fighting on Hawaiian, is because Kamehameha fought Hawaiians, you know what I mean, like to take over the islands. But one thing I think is different nowadays is that we're not fighting, it's a different world, it's technically they call us a democracy. I don't know if it's really a democracy here. But they've confused us because a house divided within
they
a
say we're
house.
supposed to be a republic, but they confuse us to think that we're a democracy, and they're two different things. One is inclusive and one is exclusive.
Which one is the exclusive one?
Republic is the one that
Is
brings
inclusive.
everybody together, and democracy is the one that says, "Hey, you're less than us. You don't count." I believe I got that correct.
Yeah.
But even in the national, what do you call it?
The Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance. It says, even it's to the republic on which I stand.
Yeah.
It's a republic, not a democracy. But they use that word all the time. They're confused,
Yeah.
and they're confusing us.
Right. Yeah.
But that's the U.S., which is completely illegitimate here anyway. The only reason why we're dealing with it is because it's forced upon us.
Right.
You know.
What would be your opinion on thoughts to move forward, or what can the average Hawaiian do to make a difference?
That's a great question. I mean, the first thing you can always do is go out into your community and see how you can help
Yeah.
and be a part of that. But other than ground level kind of stuff, I mean, you want to be able to disconnect from the system, the matrix, as much as possible, slowly by slowly. You want to be able to grow your own food, collect your own water, have your own power.
Those three things, right? Well, you said last week,
Light, power, and water.
light, power, water.
Yep. And
So how can people get independent on light, power, and water? What's the first step for them to do that? I guess to step away from.
We've got some products to help with that.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's kind of just really coming together as a community, because we don't got all of it. Everybody doesn't have all of it.
Right.
And then working together. But there are solar generators that can help get you power off grid, water makers, lights. But even deeper than that, because that's available. If you guys want to contact us after, please. But even after that, a lot of people think, hey, I'm gonna go get my property, my land. I want to have my own water, my food, my house, right?
Right.
And that's a great idea, but that's still not there yet, because eventually the illegal occupation, the laws that run everything that's around you are going to change. So eventually you, up in your own world, living your life it's not going to stay like that forever. So eventually we're going to have to get into the fight, whether it's political or not. It's not even really for us. We got another maybe 20, 30 good years, and then we hand the baton off to our kids.
Yeah. I was doing math out of this. I got like at least good 42 years, 43 years.
And that's best case scenario.
Best case scenario, yeah.
Shit
If I live to 77,
Sure, right.
Right.
I mean, shit could happen tomorrow.
I know. I was thinking about this. 43 years. I got 43 good years. Maybe 43 good
At
years.
best.
At best.
Now you could go higher than that, but
yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's a good, to keep it realistic.
Yeah, but shit happens.
Yeah, and shit does happen.
Yeah. So eventually we're gonna all need to step up and be our own advocates for our keiki and fight for them and maybe you don't think it affects you today, but it's gonna affect them then later.
Yeah.
So excuse me, maybe we start thinking along those lines.
You know what? I just was reminded of Ka'ala Farms. Their one quote on one of their reusable bags says, "If you plan for 1 year, plant kalo. If you plan for 10 years, plant koa. If you plan for 100 years, teach the children."
Yes.
I was like, I was thinking about that last night. That's super deep.
That's deep.
And then when you start thinking 100 years,
Oh yeah.
that changes your whole how you conduct yourself today. Changes.
Yes. But if you think about it, that's really only 3 generations.
Right.
We're supposed to be thinking in terms of 7 to 10 generations down the road.
I'm starting there.
Well,
we
gotta start somewhere.
Exactly.
That's where we should be. The things that we do today, it's gonna affect them. The things that they did to us back then,
It's affecting us. It's affecting us.
Period.
100%.
fact, right?
Why I never grow up fluent in Hawaiian language as a Hawaiian? Because they banned it. So my grandparents was kapu for them for talk.
They banned it. They shamed it. They made it illegal. I mean,
It affected it.
They know how to break down governments and civilizations because they've been doing it all over the world.
Yeah.
We're smart now. We have information. We can get information, and we see it. We still see it happening. It hasn't changed.
Yeah, and we can fight the system. One little win at a time.
Yes, or we can all rise up and take it tomorrow.
Do that too. I'm down.
But the hard part is unifying everyone. Everybody has their own.
Yeah, that I don't like. Why is that? Do we just need like a Hawaiian militia to go and
Turn this off. No, I mean
coup d'etat,
eventually, I think there's gonna be different.
It has to be a coup.
Factions that take care of different things, but on the same page. This is all for the future.
Right.
Not for us right now.
No way. It's just for the future.
So, I love that saying. That's a good one. I went up there to help. And they have a beautiful area.
They just got more land too. So it's like, I like them be the #1 producer of kalo on the west side or something. You know what I mean? So I don't have to have one jet fly my kalo to my, and then UPS drop them off. It's kind of cool. 2025 I getting kalo delivered to my door.
Yeah.
But
Ready
it'd be nice right from the moku wa'anai.
Definitely. Kind of get fresher than that.
And then I can go help too.
Well, for that stuff to happen and for any of the stuff that we talk about, there needs to be the support.
Yeah.
With the support, you can continue growing and fulfilling a purpose. I know you talk about that too on your stuff, right? So, independence, sustainability. I mean, independence is nice, but what if it's just 1 day or 1 week? So that's why you need sustainability too. You need to be able to stay that way.
Yeah.
And for us to be able to do that as a nation, we have to start supplying our own resources. We need to start controlling our own resources, and we need to start being the source of what it is we can be the source of.
Yeah, what's the biggest challenge of becoming sustainable? Information, access, resources.
Biggest challenge.
Because, you're in the business of solutions, right? When you're working with your clients, what is the biggest challenge? Or
I would
most
s-
prevalent?
I would say the biggest challenge would be resources. Resources. So yes, money as a resource, but if you think about it, we got one of the highest cost of living in Hawaii,
Yeah.
right? And if you think about it too, our kupuna 4 generations ago did things completely different, which means we've only had 3 generations to learn their game while they change the rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And get some of us that are doing better than others, but we've only had 3 generations of trying to learn this game that they keep changing the rules to. So,
And it's
um,
constantly changing.
oh, it all is.
Yeah.
Right, and then they say, oh, you gotta go. United States is a law-based country, right? Everything is about law, and then you see them breaking all the laws. You see them breaking all their treaties. So, what good is their word if they cannot be trustworthy,
Right.
right? So, so cost of living, people are worrying about a place to live, food, electric, health. Now we get health problems passed down to us because they could only have access to certain foods generations before us.
Yeah.
I mean, so we got mental issues, we got psychological issues, we got hurts, on top of all of that. And then you got to pay the highest cost of living almost in the world.
And then you got to pay for the medical bill.
It's completely built against us. They know they stole it. Their actions would be completely different if they were really trying to help us. So,
it frustrates me to think about this.
mhm.
However, I'm reminded that it starts with me first. I put on the what they call that, on the airplane. You put the mask on first, right? The oxygen.
Yep.
Then you help someone else.
That one was deep for me when I learned about that.
Cause I like help.
on a deeper
I like
level.
help my community, but it starts right here on this land first, right?
But if you want to help others, you gotta make sure that you're in a helpable situation.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's my kuleana right now, is making sure that I'm getting to a helpable situation. Doesn't take long, depends, but here and there where the universe provides opportunities to help, I will execute, to the best of my ability to do that. Whether that's a podcast, whether that's, when Brada was trying to get one ride to somewhere, hey, what could take you, all the kind.
Yeah.
So it starts with those small opportunities and not missing those opportunities.
Yeah.
You can start.
Building relationship with the community. Key. Oh, and then the resource of time. Once you have your health conditions under control, hopefully you can pay your rent, mortgage, buy food, feed your kids, take them to school, and then maybe you get 5 minutes for thinking about sustainability and independence. Thinking about those kinds of things is not really.
I like how you said maybe 5 minutes, because life is hectic.
It's not something you do in a survival state. You don't think about the sun shining a year from now because the baga is dark and lightning's coming down and it's storming and it's. Yeah, so it gets very overwhelming. Yeah, being up against that, and how do you think of a sustainable way if you can't even stay above the water and you choke in every
survival
month?
mode. Yeah,
Right. And most of us
are in survival
are in
mode.
survival mode. Paycheck to paycheck, behind on bills, eat Simon for dinner.
Yeah,
Some of us like that, but not for months.
right.
So, and then after that, I think the illegal occupation of the United States military and United States government is a big part of it too, because they govern the illegitimate laws that they have on
Right.
us.
How do you think that would come about? Would Hawaii become an independent nation and just strike a deal with the United States to be the arm, to still conduct military protection?
So let me correct you right now. We
Okay.
are already an independent
Yes.
nation.
Yes.
It's just that, and we still are here.
Yeah, under illegal weird
Our government has
occupation.
been overthrown.
Yes.
England cannot be overthrown, but its government can be underthrown.
Yes.
Hawaii cannot be overthrown, but its
Government
has
is
been
overthrown.
right? Illegally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Illegally, yes.
Yes. So what was your question? How would it?
Yeah, how do we move forward? What would that look like if that actually happened? If we took back our government, right? Because that's what you just said.
Okay.
The government of the Hawaiian Kingdom was overthrown.
Yeah.
So, what would that look like to take it back? Like literally, what would
the
that?
action of taking it back, or what?
Yeah, the action. I think the action is what I'm looking for. Because
Unfortunately,
all I see with what the, if I'm not mistaken, what is that? The CIA has done to these, Baghdad, to Ukraine, to Crimea, right? That's the three that I can think of in the last 10 years, right? Crimea 2014, Ukraine.
I'm sure there would be a whole list if you went further.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, 100%. But just the ones to date,
Recently.
right? People are still like, it's top of mind.
Yeah.
Is that, the CIA has infiltrated regime change, right? They call it, and has installed their own government.
Mhm.
So that's exactly what they did to the United States, or I mean to the Kingdom of Hawaii.
Mhm.
And so would it just be the opposite? We come in and install our government, and then, but before that, we have to devise a government, right?
So this is getting kind of deep into that rabbit hole.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I like it, just that there's a lot of parts to it. So
Right,
I want to
right.
make sure that I explain myself. But
That's what I always think about. So I've never really organized it in my head on how it actually has happened
yeah,
or could happen.
right. I mean, right. I mean, would we go back into one person ruling it all? Probably not. There would probably be factions and representatives of different islands, but the difference is they would need to be transparent and they would be kept accountable.
Yeah,
And if you want to be a leader, step up.
yeah. So with the
But if you're going to be a corrupt leader, you're going to look like that guy hanging.
okay,
Yeah.
so the Kingdom of Hawaii would have Kingdom of Hawaii or the Hawaiian Kingdom,
I'm not really sure. I
Yeah.
think they're both the same thing.
be the same thing.
Yeah.
Would there be a prime minister? Would there still be maybe heads of state, which would be the monarchy, right? They'll carry on.
Possibly.
but then we
I'm
still
not
have-
really, I'm not really sure on that part.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm sure other people from the Lahui have ideas on how we could figure that out. But
yeah.
unity
Unity.
needs to be
Yeah, yeah.
a key part on this. Another thing I want to say.
You think Uncle Bumpy kind of get one opinion on that?
Guarantee.
Yeah, I would love to go talk to him.
Guarantee. Yeah. And to say that too is some people are more willing to work with the state than others,
Right.
right? But if
Right,
you
right.
think about it and what's legitimate, it's not the fake state,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not them. So we actually need them. They're the problem. We need them to not be here.
Right.
So before we even get into any of that, I was reminded of some information that no big change really comes about without violence. We've
Yeah.
we've been peacefully protesting the illegal overthrow, the kill, the rape of our family for 4 generations now, 130 plus years. We've done it their way.
Which is relatively young.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
so that's why we still have such a great stronghold on our kingdom.
Because we haven't forgotten yet.
yes.
But in our 20th generation down the road, we would have wished we did something in the third and fourth.
Well, baby,
Which
it's
is us,
coming.
is us.
It's us.
Yes,
Let's
yes,
go.
yes. So yeah, the state of Hawaii is a big part of the reason why we're not thriving. Yeah, and
Yeah. Yeah, they're the biggest roadblock.
and then
yeah.
then the bullies of the United States and the U.S. military being
right,
there.
right.
They're the bullies. They're because anything goes down that the police can't handle, they're gonna send the military.
Yeah.
Right, and
Yeah.
all of it is illegal.
And that's what he's doing already too,
that's,
right?
that's all war crimes.
That's what Trump is doing already, right? He's
Yes.
sending his
Yes.
National Guards into all these cities that are super like out of control.
Yes, but they've been doing that for
How long?
decades already,
Right.
right? So I mean, yeah, we're surprised now because it's on the news and
It's
it's out
happening
in
again,
the open. But they've been doing this since the beginning of the United States. You think about it, right?
Yeah.
If you really, really think about it, the United States is is the youngest country in the world, the youngest, newest country in the world,
Yeah.
right? And they're also the strongest country in the world. How is that even possible? China's been here for
How long?
right. Russia's been here for a long time. I mean, all these. It's because everywhere they are, they're stealing from where they are, and then they put it into the military and they steal it even more.
Yeah.
They're terrorists, downright terrorists. There's no other description of it. Tell me a military base that helps their community.
Yeah, they don't do nothing for
They
it.
don't. They only take
The naval magazine over here,
jobs.
Pa'akea, they leave all that trash.
Yes.
I don't see them sending out the boys to go pick up all that trash and remove them.
It's modern day war. It's terrorism.
Yeah. No, I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do we do it?
Because
Step by step.
Trump has identified all those Mexican cartels as terrorists, right? Because they're bringing in drugs into the what would I say? Because you got North America. Well, Canada is considered North America,
I think so.
so I don't know. United States is considered still North America.
Yes, I know for sure.
So because I'm being technical with words here, because drug cartels moving drugs into North America, more specifically the United States, he's calling them terrorists. So, with your statement, which they illegally overthrew and sent the U.S. Marines here in 1893, right?
Yep.
To overthrow Queen Liliuokalani, was
Yep.
a terrorist.
I think it was the Navy.
The Navy
Yeah.
was a terrorist.
Act.
And
And they knew
terrorist
it.
act.
They knew it
Yes.
because at the time, President McKinley just got into office, and before that, it was Grover Cleveland.
Right.
And he had this whole report written up on how illegal it would be if the
That's why
United
he got
States
killed.
took it over. That's why they waited. I don't know if he got killed. That's
Or he
how-
got
They
assassinated.
waited till he got out of office, and then McKinley came in, did what he did, took Hawaii, and then he got a high school named after him. So all those statues, they gotta come down too.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
None of that shit.
No.
Yeah. Excuse me.
No worries. No need to excuse yourself.
So yeah, it goes pretty deep. And once you hit something, it's like it branches off into 5 other things, and then
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, even Hiko, we talked about Hiko too, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Oh, yeah, you're talking about that.
Hiko's a big part of what we do, only because they control the energy in Hawaii. But even if you think about that,
I thought
monopolies
monopolies
Are
are
illegal?
illegal in the United States.
right? They are supposedly right.
And then yet now even young brothers too, right? Claiming, oh, we don't want money. Don't they?
They lie. It's because all the money stay at the top. They make
Pasha,
too much.
Matson.
But they throw an
Anyways, back
envelope
to
into the
Hiko
bank.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, so Hiko, a lot of people don't know this, but Hiko was established 2 years before the illegal overthrow. And established by the same people that illegally overthrown us.
And those people were considered Hawaiians.
Hawaiian nationals.
Hawaiian nationals, yes. Hawaiian
yes,
nationals.
Because they lived in Hawaii.
So they committed treason.
Sure. And the queen still said she would have...
Forgive them.
I mean, show me aloha modern day.
Yeah. That's why there was never a war or bloodshed, because she didn't want that.
That's why we're still here.
Yes.
They
And
wanna-
that's why we still remember, because she peacefully protested in writing.
They wanted us to fight back. They wanted to wipe us out.
Yeah.
But they never. They stupid. Now we got them.
Yeah.
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 It's on, bro. It's on.
And this is the time to turn it around, because every ethnicity is being recognized in the United States, and people are fighting back, and there's the minority is no longer not powerful. You know what I mean?
Right.
No,
'cause the
we're
minorities
powerful.
stick together.
Yes.
But we're not really minorities.
Yeah, we're not
If we look at
minorities.
the big picture.
Yeah, we're not
They're
minorities.
the minorities, and that's why they act the way that they have acted.
Yes.
Yes. They know that at any second we turn, it's over. We could overrun the capital right now. We could take all of this back right now. You think they have more bullets on this island than we have people? Possibly. You think they're gonna do it with the technology that we have? Probably not.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's holding humanity accountable. You talk about this liberty, justice, freedom, peace, all these things that you stand for, yet you're the one creating the opposite.
Yeah.
You take all these things from every other country just to give it to your country, right? And how is that even sustainable? That's not. Hawaii could would have been the food mecca in the Pacific, feeding the rest of the world. I believe it. So going back to it, yes, we had the highest literary rate. We were like in 90 something. We were the second in the world for literacy.
Yeah.
Iolani Palace had electricity about a decade before the White House. That's mind blowing. A decade. Healthcare was free. Slavery was outlawed. They didn't do that in the States until like 50, 100 years later.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, they're still in slavery. We slaves, right? Even when you talk about them selling our social security numbers to, you heard about all that, right?
Right. A straw man and all that stuff.
Right. So, the Federal Reserve, that's not even a part of the United States. It's its own entity of elites that control if they want to bring your percentage rate up or not. You know, if I feel like more money. Yeah, I want to bring.
Yeah, usury is what they call that.
It's all illegal. At what point is that sustainable? It's not. At what point is, if you have the most money, you can create new law. That's how the United States is. You can send guys in for lobby to create a new law, and then before you know it, now you gotta do it. Everybody gotta do it. How long do you think that could last? Most empires in the world last about 250 to 300 years before they collapse. The United States is about 250.
Yeah.
And they're doing it to themselves. I used to think about when I was younger, I watch movies and how come everybody in the world hates us? Right? And then I find out, first of all, that's not us. And second of all, it's because they're out hurting the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Who does that?
There's evil in the world.
Yeah. So all of that affects sustainability and independence. As sustainable as we want to be, if the U.S. military never just poison our Red Hill, but they poison and Pearl Harbor, but they poison all of our water, how sustainable can we be?
Yeah.
Because of their actions. Right.
And they're trying to get away with it.
They've been getting away with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like how you said there just needs to be more human accountability, and you keep it down to that level, right?
That's how I think it should be, and in the Hawaiian Kingdom, if you want to step up into leadership, then be pono, and if you are not going to be pono, then you're going to be made an example.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to be made an example, don't step up. That's how accountable we got to be.
Yeah, that's
how
high accountability. Yeah,
that's how transparent we got to be.
Yeah, extreme ownership right there.
Because these are Kiki's lives we're talking about. These are grandkids' lives we're talking about. Seven generations down the road.
So roughly how many years is that? 7 to 10.
If you say it's about 30, 40
so
years.
300 years, roughly.
It's a lot of years.
It's a lot of years.
Makes you be a little more mindful.
Damn. Yeah. I'm just thinking about how, like, now thinking about 100 plus years from now, and how time is precious,
Yeah.
And how many times
we trade that resource for everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why this opportunity I have right now, I'm taking full advantage to utilize the internet, the platform.
Yeah.
Find awesome people like you to talk about these stuffs and continue the conversation. That's all it is, right? That's where it starts. Just continuing the conversation.
Conversation, but like modern day storytelling, right? Where we share mana'o and maybe ideas, and all in the effort of moving forward.
Yeah.
Together. Because I tell you what, this place is big enough. God made the world abundant enough that we can all thrive. Yeah. And we're not limited by scarcity. If you think about even just like I like to make this analogy or this comparison. Even just a papaya. Okay, this is how abundant God is. He's even more abundant in this.
Yeah.
You have one papaya from a tree full of papayas. You break open the papaya to eat it, you get hundreds of seeds, right? You just plant one seed, and it grows to create all those papayas again, with all those seeds again, right? So, one seed, whether it be papaya or avocado, it doesn't matter. One seed truly has the power to feed the world. If you think about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a great perspective.
And not even with human intervention, with just nature. A papaya tree out in nature, right? So it's growing. It's getting the water it needs. Birds come. They eat them. Seeds fall. More papayas grow.
Yeah.
More seeds drop.
Yeah.
Why doesn't that happen? Is because humans intervene. You know, we mess something up, whether it's the water flow or whatever it might be. Or
Greed.
Maybe we pick them because we don't like abundance. You know, we don't want more trees over there. But everything he makes is in abundance. Yes, humans can make a few babies at a time. But
Right.
if you think about the other animals, they can make 10, 20. Insects can make hundreds
That's crazy.
at one crack. You know, the scarcity is a human doing. Because if we didn't mess with it, you can see even after COVID how everything came back. Humans are the ones fucking it all up.
Yeah.
You know, we're not helping. We're setting it back. And usually it's for profit.
Yeah. I like how you said that humans are the ones fucking it up, because if we identify the problem, then we can fix it.
Yeah.
You know, so if we're the ones that can fuck. One thing I realize of myself in my life, if I can destroy things, I can rebuild things.
Yes.
I have the power to destroy
Yes.
and create.
Right.
Create and destroy.
With the willingness.
With the willingness.
Yes. There's another big one. People don't always agree with me on this, but they say the root of all evil is money, right?
Yeah.
And if you say that, then you should be able to flip it as well. That there is a possibility that the root of all goodness could be the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it just takes the intention and the willingness. But all these rich people out there, they could help the world. Why is it not happening? Is because greed.
Yeah.
Greed. And even if you don't look at it as greed, if you're hoarding your money and you're not helping anybody, what was it even for? Just to accumulate?
That's
Just to make more? I mean,
that's the story they tell in the Bible.
That's no purpose,
That one farmer that just stored up for himself. You know, his life was taken, and we all know where he ended up. But if you give, that's where it's at. You know.
Yep.
I'm not saying that if you like we were talking about being in a place to help someone. You know,
yes.
it's not pressure for someone that doesn't have resources to. Whatever it is, donate time. Be that to
Your
start
skill.
your skill.
Yeah. Well, they say your time, your talents, your treasures,
Yeah.
right? All the things that are important to you.
Yeah.
It's been given to you, and you can honor a cool by sharing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope we didn't get too off the subject, but
No,
we
we just talk your
we
story.
just go with the wind, where the wind goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the other thing I was telling you I wanted to talk about? We talked about the flag, talked about the Hawaiian Kingdom. So, ProAct, that was the other thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Finally, yeah, company. That's what I wanted to
Okay.
talk about. Because obviously you got one pretty good lay of the land over here. What would you suggest to start with? Because I told you a little bit of my ideas, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you heard Mom's story. And, because at nighttime, down at the end, that's where all weirdos go.
Action.
uh,
Like the dead ends, huh?
Yeah, dead ends.
Yeah.
That's where all the trash there,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But even CRU was up here about a month ago. Crime Reduction Unit, had the 2 shootings of the teenagers, Nanakuli, and so one of the boys left one of the cars up here, so that's why cops all day was up, investigation, looking for any kind of monitoring or anybody had cameras, just for solidify their evidence.
Yep.
But for me, speaking about peace of mind,
Mm-hmm.
is making sure we get at least one fence and some cameras.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Just even in the front for now, so no one can just walk up.
Yep.
Eventually we can go up to the mountain,
Mm-hmm.
the back and stuff like that. But just for the front for now, to provide even more security.
I think a good place to start would be the small solar lights.
Was that Home Depot? Or
No, we have 'em. That's us. That's us.
Okay, you got
we
it.
we have
got
our small
everything.
ones. We have the
Okay.
bigger ones as well. But our small ones are easy to install. You can put them all over. They have all night glow, and then it has a motion sensing blast. So
Okay.
if anything is moving, they can get on good blast. That's usually the first line of defense. Daytime, it might not happen as often, but nighttime is kind of when
Yeah, nighttime
the
is when we
action
need
is
them. Yeah.
more so. So lighting is definitely needed. Lighting to begin with.
Yeah.
These lights look similar to they could look like a solar camera, so people might be
Oh yeah, it's just
looking like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, there's a presence
with the motion. Yeah,
with the
and if
motion.
something is flashing, maybe somebody is home, so they're not going to even try.
Right.
Compared to a dark property,
Yeah.
which will be easier for them to scope out and attack. Lit property, most times they'll just drive past it, and it's not even worth doing.
Right.
Because if they have the light, then maybe they have the camera, they maybe have some guns.
Yeah.
That's not worth risking.
Their time. Yeah. Their life.
Right. So first things first is the road presence from the main road, the front gate. Make sure all that's lit up well. Yeah. Once you have the small lights, depending on what you need, if you already have power, and you have Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
I would say, and you have something to protect,
Yeah.
I would say start looking into the solar security cameras.
Solar security.
So our
camera.
cameras are kind of cool because it's a dual camera. One is a wide angle, so it can catch a big area, and then
Yeah.
the other one is
So
articulated.
one probably could go on
lens.
that front.
The
that-
higher the better.
Yeah, right there at
Yes.
the top. You see that yellow
Yes.
beam.
Yep. Maybe even underneath onto the corrugated material
Yeah.
with the least amount blocking. So you could have one camera out to the road,
Yeah.
and then your other one can.
I like one
Check the
each
rest of it.
looking that
yeah.
like that. You know.
You kind of want them to back each other up,
Yeah.
just in case. Yeah. But that's a good one, a solar
Yeah,
security
yeah.
camera. If you have
Because then
Wi-Fi,
I'll just put a TV in my room and I'll,
Oh,
I'll have
easy.
this easy. I got locks on, eyes on everything.
yes,
Yeah.
and then you're just gonna have.
There you
You're
go.
just gonna have the little hole over there with the ref sticking
Yeah,
up.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's my whole plan. Yeah, I get the window right there in the corner.
Bingo. Warning shot.
Yeah, I like with speaker
Oh,
system
yeah, I
too.
think
You know
so,
what I
you
mean?
need the-
Yeah, you
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
Last warning.
Yeah, HFD. I was doing a control burn right over here. HFD. Somebody called. I don't know. We always do open burns over here, But HFD and one whole holy crew came out of the truck, and then I was like watching them, and I was like, "Oh, you guys can leave one hose and one jack for link up to the fire hydrant for me. You guys can donate." It was a joke. And then the guy was like, "Oh yeah, we can." And then they started, tying up because they wanted to help me put out the fire. And I was like, "I'm joking." And then one of the Holly ladies, she looked like a butchie, started walking and she went past. We get the orange tape that goes, so that's our line, right? It's the easement, and
Property
they get
line.
the property line.
Yeah.
And then she didn't see her past the property line. She never asked, "Hey, may I come onto the property? May I do this? Try to help put out the fire." I was like, "Get the fuck off my property, or I'm gonna call HPD."
Hmm.
So they started hooking up already to the fire hydrant. So I called HPD. Boom, HPD is up here. Motion for the HPD come up. I was like, I called you guys. I called HFD this morning. They said I gotta go get one permit. Come on, bro. I'm not gonna go get one permit for doing open burn over here. Come on. This is Hawaiian land, bro.
Yep. But that's how they are.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the second auntie over there, whoever she is, broke protocol. Usually if you're walking onto someone's property, excuse me, may I come onto your property? We're gonna do this. Never do that.
Yeah.
So they assumed, oh, because I got a job to do, I'm gonna just go put this fire out. I'm standing here with my water hose, just my garden hose or whatever, but it's in control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I told him, get the fuck off the land. HPD comes. He mediates the situation till finally, I allow one of their captains to come in. He's like, oh, this is what Chief said. We gotta, put out the fire or wait for you. I was like, you guys can wait. I'll put it out myself
When it's done.
when it's done.
Right.
And he's like, oh, that's going to be like an hour. I was like, I don't care. It's not my problem. It's your problem now. I told him, go call Chief. Tell him that you guys don't need to stay. And so they made one deal with HPD. HPD going to stay. Then they could leave. That's what Chief said. So HPD he's a brother. So, he's like, oh, after HFD leave, just put out this side a little bit, and then I'm going to dip out.
Yeah.
And so, for me, it was about principle on that. Wasn't about letting them put out the fire. I mean, yeah, they could have used City and County Water for put out that fire real quick. Would have been done, They also was stopping me from conducting business because I am doing work up here. This is a business. You know what I mean? So stop me from pursuing my pursuit of happiness. You know what I mean? I was having fun. Doing my control fire. But the whole point is, where I was going with that. Exercising my native Hawaiian rights, but want to protect the land. You know what I mean? Have the fence up so people cannot just walk up onto the land like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Deterrents are good.
Yeah, deterrence.
Yeah. They help. Dogs.
Yeah, dogs. You get Hawaiian, the little Chihuahua. I don't know
Hirash.
what kind of dog I like yet. For at least have one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Later on, I think we're gonna need like the
What kind of dogs you get?
solar turrets for.
Oh yeah,
shoot.
that'd be cool. I like build a couple inlets in the mountain, so if anything,
Mean.
for security, if they come over the
Mean.
mountain and then
Dum, dum, dum,
get
dum.
snipers
50
down.
cal.
50 cals.
Oh, mean.
Put one guy up in that poly right over there,
I can do AI.
Yeah,
Just find locate.
yeah.
That would be major.
Get the drone, Can turn this into a whole compound, bro.
We got to.
Yeah.
We got to.
Look out.
Yeah, I think that's important. We continue to exercise them.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, then
Yeah, you lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it.
we won't. We'll lose it. Yes, but we're not teaching our next generation how it should be done. If every generation gets weaker and weaker, by 10 generations, they're not gonna know nothing.
Yeah.
They're just gonna be okay. United States of America. I'll follow you. Do whatever you say.
Yeah. Well, that's what a lot of people are doing nowadays already. They're sleeping.
They're yeah.
Yeah, they're sleeping.
They're sleeping.
Yeah.
We also need to remember how the United States was even formed, right? There was a bunch of European people that
Yeah, they ran away from
ditched
ditched
Europe because
Europe.
taxes were too much.
Taxes was too much, and they never liked how the king was conducting.
Right.
So it was a rebellion. The United States was built on rebellion. So I guess we just gotta rebel, huh?
That's not even a joke.
Yeah,
It's
no,
for
it's
real.
not. And people don't like me because the way I live my life, because there's rebellion in my heart. Well, where you think it came from?
Right. There was a calling 2, 3, 4, 5 generations
Yeah,
ago.
fuck the status quo.
No,
Yeah, I
fight
hate
no
the
more.
status quo. I will push the status quo until the day I die.
This is our turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fired up, dude. That's why, I'm just keeping my head down right now, just helping mom and dad, make sure, because, they're already on their way out, sunset years. So my goal is to make sure that as much as possible that they live that rest of those years happily and help them get their affairs in order. And then, create my family, look for my wife, and have my family, and then I'll continue to teach them, and just build the army, one family at a time, Continue to, right now, my goal is just the discipline for me is to make sure I'm disciplined in my life, being righteous, being pono, and then, becoming that leader that I want to be. And it always starts with my own brain here, doing the internal work.
Yep.
Because of all the distress, all the trauma that has come upon us because of what has happened in the past,
Yep.
So unraveling all that, getting pono, and it doesn't take that long. It's continue to seek God, trust God, clean house, go help someone,
Yep.
So that's where I'm at. And, I'm having fun doing it on podcasts and starting those conversations.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, super fun. Well, you got anything else to add? We hit that hour mark. That was pretty quick.
Yeah, that felt pretty quick.
Yeah.
I think that's good for now. We can always do another
Yeah.
another one, but
yeah.
this is good. We hit a lot of points.
Yeah,
Hit some deep holes.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming out. I appreciate your
it
time.
was fun. Thank you.
Yeah. Right on. Mahalo, guys. Thank you for watching the Scrappy Podcast again. Nathan Kamahele. We get all his information for the website, Instagram, on the YouTube description. I will have that all that stuff up. Right on, guys. Aloha.
Aloha. Yes.